The following may include subject matters of war, violence, loss, and adult themes which may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Episode 37, Marble and Blood. The mad patrician Barolus evades Nilishly, closing on Marcus and unleashing a blistering series of blows from his great axe upon the true cleric. Badly wounded, Marcus yet stands. Perhaps more importantly, Barolus screams, "Now!" to his 20-odd men still outside, men that do not respond to their leader. Confused by how nearly 30 corpses now suddenly litter the doorway, and having failed to see Grip unleash his draconic breath via mana bending, their fear overpowers their loyalty to Barolus. During this struggle, Merrick's chosen essence attempts to keep him from death. Despite this, the first defender of Geramentum falls, his life force extinguished by the accumulation of shock and damage. His last thought is of his beloved wife, Jasmine, to whom he promised he would return home. Nilishly stays in the grips of a deepening blood frenzy, making short work of the men before her. Internally, Winter's Harvest offers her the soul of one of the killed enemies, which she swallows. This knits some of her uncanny flesh, converting the man's life force into healing for her in a twisted mockery of Marcus's soothing golden light. Enraged at Merrick's death, Titus strikes a devastating blow with Concord, channeling all the power he has access to into Barolus's body. Burning from within, Barolus's final act is to touch Titus's cheek, his eyes filled with gratitude for at last being freed of 60 winters of life, death, and rebirth upon the island. In the midst of this, a heretofore invisible figure begins to summon a potent act of will to lay the fellowship low. However, this person named Uriah dies to an arrow through his chest. Sprinting breathlessly to the fray, Ovid, Barolus's long-suffering lover, spares the party what surely would have been a heinous, arcane assault. In the combat, Marcus is at last struck down, with a still berserk Nilishly moving in for the kill on her own ally. The spirit of Merrick appears a final time, guided by the hand of justice, and exhorts her to remember the circle, a reference to when Nilishly first won Winter's Harvest and truly began her journey of self-discovery and ownership. This act enables the divine construct to pull herself from her fatal frenzy. After this tremendous struggle, the Fellowship all tend to various pressing business. Titus buries a symbolic colin fruit seed, which Wesa found in honor of Merrick. Nilishly and Wesa have a crucial, heartfelt conversation about the former's future with Winter's Harvest. Marcus does his best to comfort an emotionally collapsed Ovid. Grip makes the decision to abandon his former crew, going with the Fellowship to the southern shore of the island. A final unwelcome surprise awaits them there. Capio Secundus has used the sigil which Titus put in his hands as a lure to get onto the party's ship. Once there, he used his will working to murder all of them. The Fellowship received this knowledge from the sole surviving crew member, and now must reckon with the reality of their past choices marooning them far from home.
Faraway friends, welcome to Darkeport. Also, connoisseurs of fantasy, the realms over, and curiosity seekers. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. There's a lot going on in the world. So we want to, as always, we always, hopefully it's already happened.
You're on the West Coast. You still
You're
have time.
enjoying your time.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, West Coast still is.
In Hawaii.
Good call. So we want to give a shout out to our sister stream, Constructed Chaos, and the Chaos crew, and their ridiculously talented GM, Alex, whom I am still fighting with to just accept his accolades, as he should. And his equally brilliant wife, Morgan, who is a core over there. And hopefully I will be able to get a certain interview from Miss Morgan at some point here. It's been in the works. Been in the works for a bit. I'd love to get her perspective. That they have done a lot over there. So thank you so much for being fellow travelers on this journey with us. And we have a little matter of a sponsor.
Of course. We are well prepared for such, as we always are. Thank you, Eldritch Foundry, for your continued support of our scrappy little stream. Your figures get great use, and we are very appreciative of them. We encourage all of you watching to click the link in the video description to check out their incredible tool for custom creativity, regardless of campaign setting. A lot of fun you can have with that. Please do check it out in the link in the video description. Thank you, Eldritch Foundry.
Ooh. Yay!
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
To that point, Eldritch Foundry has all sorts of genres available there. So you could do modern stuff, you could do science fiction. So it's not just fantasy, which is really, really nice.
I was waiting for that 3D interface to come out with the printing, the color printing.
Color printing. Mm-hmm. It's going to be sweet. And they doubled their Kickstarter. At least.
Yeah, they're going, still going, and
so that's great. We love that. So there also is the matter of most valuable player from last Age of Tezcatli session, and Corey, your portrayal of Etsley swept it.
I could never be more proud of my
Got all
wife.
the votes.
Thank you.
So I believe that brings you up to 3.
My wife. I'm so proud of her.
And I have managed to misplace that little comment. So I'll just make a note.
It's only because she was doing what she was doing as well.
yeah.
So well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done on that.
buddy.
Keep doing what you're doing, honey. Keep doing what
And with that,
Hold on. Stone.
and with
Build that baby.
that, we get to a little handle.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Yeah, we're getting better at that.
Yeah, right.
Took a year.
I think we could probably do like a hour-long.
So we have a little candle compilation, supercut. There you go.
Supercut, you get 2 MVP votes.
So after a truly grueling and consequential battle, which took the life of one Merrick Touchgem, the Fellowship, battered but unbowed, now comes to the beach. Or at least you were about to, I believe we left you about to break off, about to break through the tree line. And you had a near hysterical Ajax, perhaps the sole survivor of the Storm's Mare, who is clinging to whom? Whom is he clinging to right now? He's clinging to somebody.
I'm happy.
Okay, I guess Marcus is a good
I'm happy to be clung to.
I'm pretty sure it seems likely.
object of clingage. Okay.
Yeah.
Father figure.
Hand on the shoulder.
So yeah, he's slumped against you, more or less, and kind of alternating between sobbing and then looking frantically back out to the beach, toward the beach, and then sobbing some more. And finally, he kind of begins to collect himself after a good while.
Becoming a normal thing for me.
Yes, it is. I will go ahead and off-stream, Tobias, you had kind of racked up the time that was going by, and I think we're probably pretty close to dusk at this point.
One presumes, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what? See, I'm just ready to go. This is what happens. We have a little journal entry. Not you, me.
You. I know,
Look at me.
Make her sweat already. Got a little journal entry, huh? Buddy?
There was a little bit.
tea, you
There was
get
a
it on the
little
spot.
there was a little bit of confusion pre-stream about the rotation, but no, this one's about due anyway. Whew. All right. From the Field Journal of Lady Lucretia Vale.
I wonder where she's at.
Dusk. How different the meaning of that word a mere 2 moons ago. Of course, at that time, I was still ignorant of the existence of the Wakyu, nor did I understand that both they and the Utini, of all 3 of their city-states, worshipped a single god, Mistrail, he of the hard truth. Under different circumstances, I would find Isan weirdly beautiful, with its soaring alien architecture and uncanny enchanted flames. Now, though, I dare only focus on the slim pathway to survival. If it be within my power, I have a sacred duty to lead what little remains of these men in Kithki that have declared me Imperatrix on a field of battle. Back home, to their home. As I pen this, I do not know what that word means to me any longer, nor where, yet that uncertainty does not alter my course. 12 times now, I have felt the rush of chosen quintessence within my very bones. 12 times, my link to the founder of the Empire itself, greatest Carnifex, has been affirmed. I will need every erg of that power in the coming duel, and even then, I judge my chances no better than 3 in 10. In the event I fall, I believe Akemi will honor her word, and bear these, my last sentiments, along with the rest of this journal, back to Jaramentum, and Quaelathon willing, into Titus Metellus's gauntleted hands. And now I see him, the chief of chiefs. He dwarfs even their elite champions in size, strength, and resilience, standing taller than the walls of Jaramentum. His son very nearly ended me before. How can I overcome the father? My only slight edge is that my adversary can't be aware of my own increase since his scouts last reported to him. I am sorry, Titus Metellus, if I am never able to tell thee of my dream, what I whispered to your Granny Dewshine one moonless night. If it comes to that, then I pray you hear it from Indira's lips. I will contend against this thing from Nightmare. I will win, or I will die. I am grateful to thee, Lord of Light, for allowing my sword sister to find me in time for this final campaign. May she escape if I am felled. I have done all that I can to prepare. The Utini roar just outside this room. The Gwakyu observe and judge in their customary silence. I am at peace. Semper Lux, Lucretia Tarquinia Domitia Vale.
Good luck.
She'll be fine.
Quail don't protect you. What was the name of the god that she?
Mistrail?
Mastrail.
Mastrail.
Mastrail. Mastrail.
He of the hard truth.
He of the hard truth.
I have some questions for you.
I have some hard truths in return. No one ever loved you.
Who is the joint god of both the Utini and the Wakyu.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Waku, bless you.
What are we doing? Because Ajax is certainly not asserting himself.
I'm going to turn to Wesa. What's going on?
It appears we need to find out. And I'll just push forward past the tree line.
Okay.
So what happened? Just tell us how it happened. If it starts getting too much focus on me, we will protect you.
All right. Okay. And he kind of shakes his head and tries to be a little bit more present. What can I do to help?
Is Captain Drusius dead? Good deal.
I told you, Domini. At least ways I thought I did. They're all debtors now.
Are they changed in any way?
I don't know. I think so, yeah.
We need to go see for ourselves. Come on.
Before we do, how did you get away? It's important.
He looks skittishly at Wesa, and kind of sidles back from her.
It's all right.
I'm just understanding what it means to be chosen now. When you're just an Ajax. Sorry, what were you saying?
How did you get away?
I was out foraging. The captain sent me out, but I'm kind of a coward, and so I didn't go back as soon. Once I heard the screaming, the other men with me, they tried to help, and well, you'll see.
That axe saved your life.
Maybe it ain't worth saving.
You told us what was going on. We ain't walking in there alone. It's fine.
Where's the ship now, Ajax?
I ran, and I almost died to some shadow sucker at night.
That happens.
But I ran back into the water, and it didn't follow me. But it was like choking me, like going down my mouth, and
They're gone now.
any road. Yeah, it is. With advantage, Randy, give me a persuasion check. Let me see how comforting you can be.
14.
Okay. For some reason, that's kind of what I was feeling it. Okay. He locks eyes with you for a long moment, and you just see this scrawny... he has the feeling of a young person, but he's not young. To him, the sole survivor, though.
I'm gonna give him that kind of rush of guidance, just through his arm.
Okay.
It's all right, dear. It's all right.
Of a resilience, rather. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What do y'all need?
I mean, we need to understand the circumstance. Can we please keep moving?
Okay, it's not far.
Stay in the tree line. Don't let them know we're coming. Not yet.
Okay.
And then I do want to ask Grip something too. Before we go, and I want to pull out that dark ember that I found on Nikolai's remains, but do you have any gift for the Arcana?
Those?
Is there anything you can tell me about this?
Well, once I've had a chance to sleep, I can use the eye, but I can take a look at it until then.
Would you mind holding on to it for me?
This is kind of a weird question. Can I make would it be Arcana or Insight, just get a vibe check on this thing? Do I feel like this is gonna possess me if I touch it or something like that?
Not that would ever happen. So hold on to that.
I just want a bag of remains.
Donnie, do you want to explain to remind our faraway friends what you're carrying?
Yeah, it's a dark ember, kind of, I want to say stone and or clasp that we found on Nikolai's remains, which was Capio's friend that
Supposedly.
person of interest that he told us to rescue that was beyond the dome that we did.
You did, in fact, yes, on your way out.
Yeah.
And when you touched it, it had a sort of unnatural slickness or oiliness.
Yes, yeah, it was greasy.
Massive.
Yeah, I can look at it now, but once you've had a chance to rest, I can investigate a little more thoroughly.
I'll give you an Arcana on that.
Ooh. I just need to know.
Not great. That's 10 total.
You're not really sure what you're looking at.
Now, see.
I'm not.
Yes.
Have you taken physical possession of it? Did you take it out?
I mean, sure, we'll say I did.
Okay, so now you're feeling that same untoward oiliness to it, almost slick enough that it, there's an illusion, there's a tactile illusion that it might slip out of your hands like a bar of soap.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually seem to be any more slippery than it should be. For Amber.
Can I petition for advantage on that check because there are certain aspects of Grip's connection to Arcana, to the Weave, that if this thing is what I believe it to be, would be in sympathy?
I appreciate that you are in Anika's chair, and so you are kind of contractually obligated to be. She was the advantage queen, so you've got to be an advantage prince at least. However, no, it's not. That doesn't come into play here.
Okay, then I'll give it a once on. I'll have to sleep. I can look at it with the eye once I've had some rest.
I'm gonna move on.
Would you like me to hold on to it?
Give us a moment. And then I want to kind of take it and kind of press Concord against me and then just kind of look and to see like if there's any level of reaction and also go deep into myself and ask Concord if there's any direction of any type of...
As soon as you press it to Concord.
Oh no, I don't press it to Concord. I have it in front.
You have it?
I have
Okay.
Concord against my chest.
Okay.
So I can like pray from it. I'm not crazy.
Okay. It's going to take you a while to, like, a couple minutes to kind of calm yourself and find her. But now that the need isn't dire, she's not right there. She's kind of in a semi-resting state. You feel like?
Yeah.
Her presence is still there, and you can find her in that interior cathedral. But it will take a minute. Are you willing to kind of stop and breathe and look?
I think we can all use for a short rest and give our friend here, Ajax, some water and ration.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like nighttime, right?
It's about to be. It's going to be nightfall pretty soon.
I guess.
We should probably take the rest for the night.
I believe so.
Okay.
And we're not going to look at all what's going on the beach.
We know that they're dead.
Do we? That they're all dead. I don't like to just be taking... No offense, Ajax. But I'd like to see with my own eyes. And then I can sleep.
Would you mind scouting ahead to see what you see? You know this island better than any of us.
Aye, not at all.
Do you need light?
It might give away my position.
Oh. You guys want to fire?
I will be back soon, though. Remember, the shadows, the hungry shadows, they will come very soon.
It will be lit. You'll find us.
Do not go beyond the campfire once it's lit.
Understood.
Do you have a way of hiding the light that might emanate from it?
And there's the flame that appears from his hand.
Looking around the canopy, the trees, is it lit up around us?
It's what, 20 and 20 for dim light, for bright light, dim light.
It is bright light and 10, dim light an additional 10.
10 and 10. Okay. So about 20 feet out before it fades. Okay. So unless anybody else tells about anything, he's gonna slip. He's gonna slip away. All right.
Anybody want to get some kindling?
Pretty damn well.
Yeah.
And this is just flame. This is
just flame.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gonna see it for a second. At least once you...
Ajax is again shying away from the fire that just came out of Dragon Boy's hands, who is not part of your crew.
Wesa would grab... She would go getting some kindling and stuff.
Okay.
And she would give him a blade.
Ajax?
Put it in his hand.
Okay.
Give him a piece of wood. Whittle.
You know what to do.
Just whittle, please.
Make a persuasion. And
Oh, buddy.
and Grim, thank you very much for your 5 gifties.
You're a legend.
26.
Okay.
It worked. The DC was pretty high.
So you feel you feel something stirring in you now. It's not quite the call to Regency, so it's not like you're about to invoke some of your innate magic, but what it is a call of legacy. And perhaps all this chatter about a time long past, Tatiana, and abilities that had been lost in the mists of antiquity began to stir your blood, and you almost feel like there's another voice coming through you
God help us all.
that has a snap, that has a little ring of authority to it as you tell him that, and he kind of stops reacting to you as a 14-year-old girl and instead is reacting to you as a person to be reckoned with. And he, yeah, all right, sure. It's almost like borderline intimidation, but it was a persuasion check. So, okay.
Have fun. Now.
Make you're gonna find some kindling here because it's abundant, but make a survival check.
11.
Okay. So as you're groping, you see a shy little form in the shadows. And a certain red-furred Paija comes up and shyly puts down a little branch for you and then scampers off.
I thank the Paija in my mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then you go and get it. Marcus, did you want to pursue this black-looking amber?
As soon as Titus was
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Well, that's right, because it never transferred over. Okay.
However, I've been actually just sort of in the area watching things as they progress. I would actually like to invoke True Seeker
Okay.
and just watch Wesa for a while. Just get an insight into how she feels.
How do you? So, as an emissary of the goddess of truth, in this case, because she's dual aspected, as justice and truth. How do you invite her in? How do you invite Tawaya into your mortal form to enhance yourself?
A quick prayer. Give me the eyes to see what is being hidden.
Okay. And what are you looking for?
General mood, because this is not like any Wesa I've ever seen, and I just want to get an idea, a baseline of what she is. I want to feel if this is that kind of like taking root, or if it's just a momentary stress for the situation, things can move on.
So the first thing, you don't need to roll for this. The first thing that comes to mind is that when you were at the battle of of what was then the Broken Tower, you, now Yulia's watch, you were not next to her, so you actually don't know Wace's baseline for mammoth battles. And with that in mind, go ahead and roll with advantage your insight. Actually, I think we settled.
It gives me expertise.
It gives you expertise.
Yes.
Okay, so double.
So 17.
17. Okay. So you're looking. Just give me. It's not really an active deception check, but I think Wace is just basically she's just kind of projecting a mirror right now. So
deception.
Yeah, deception.
Never gonna be able to beat her.
24.
You're right.
Okay.
Took a lot longer to do the math than you, man. So
even
she got it.
So even with the very slight, with the very slight nudge from your deity, she's so good at just reflecting back to you what you want to see or what you assume to see. And with the 17, you know that that's what she's doing to you. It's the air that her culture breathed, or at least her caste breathed.
Always on.
Then in the ensuing time, until people start revolving, if I'm just considering, I'm going to be looking around the edges of what I might believe the mask to be, just sort of giving it some shape in my mind.
She beat you by enough that the mask just continues to morph.
All right. It's a continual thing.
I didn't even really try there. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
the way it happened.
So great.
His roll is great green die hat.
Got a little.
Don't try to read me. Drink first.
Aw, Defiant Chaos, member for 2 months, level, and his message was, Marcus, 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 all in caps. Thank you. Be careful on that roof of yours, because he always starts off watching us on his roof. Okay. Make an insight check. You being Titus.
That would be a 10.
Okay. You feel her check in. You feel Concord touch your psyche. And when you're in the cathedral, when you're in the inner cathedral, which will always remain beautiful, has none of the blood, has none of the death, any of that. And she's sensitive enough that you're actually just at the front door, so you're not actually anywhere near where Merrick was killed. You feel her presence, but it's more like an empathic thing, Titus, instead of a telepathic thing. And it's basically a sense of, are you in danger? Are you in need?
I'm in need of counsel.
A slight pause, and then she starts bringing you deeper in. At this point, this point, I'm picturing you sitting, but you don't have to be.
Oh yeah, he'd be sitting sword here.
Okay. And even still, it's more like a diffuse light, and her voice reaches you, and you can feel her presence more strongly. And there's kind of a golden hue to the room now. But she hasn't. You're still very early on in this relationship, which could last for decades.
Centuries. Please.
So, how do you approach?
I gave you my heart, but I've given my trust to so many. And I keep feeling betrayed. I need to know now if I should act as true justice. Or should I act with my emotion? Should I bring vengeance? Even though I'll mask it as justice. But my heart is broken.
Sweet boy, I think you already know the answer to that. The emissary is beside you for a reason. He is wise, as you are brave.
And for this in front of us, shall it be broken now?
If it's important, bring it here. Take it with you onto the very threshold of the cathedral. And I will I will manifest myself so that I might see it in your mind's eye. Do you understand, Titus?
I'm trying.
You can. The only thing you must do is to follow the path. You can sit with me in different ways. I will tell you now, I had a markedly different relationship with Wex than I did with Jason. And I believe I will have yet a third way with you. All of those relationships draw upon different parts of your young soul. And they draw upon different parts of what the beautiful lady left us. Do you understand?
I do.
At least enough. Wait, I'll come to you. Okay, so you sit there and you kind of painstakingly try to imagine this peculiar black amber thing.
Yeah, and he's also bringing up every invocation and memory of like Capio's deception. Like trying to describe like this is what is to him, as opposed to this is what it just is as is.
This is a little weird, but you're going to have a lot of weird rolls with Concord. As you're trying to like crisply present that, I think the most fair representation of a person's mind and how you could bring that to bear interiorly would be investigation.
Okay. That is going to be a 23, 19 plus 4.
Okay. So you bring it in, and almost immediately, this peculiar thing shimmers into being in your mind's eye. And then with a force that maybe takes you off guard a bit, just outside of the cathedral, not allowed inside, you're seeing all of these bits and moments and cuts of Capio, of your interactions with Capio. And then it seems to take her some effort and some time, but that gold does eventually coalesce into a somewhat less solid female figure, resplendent in gold and her aureate skin. She comes closer to you, gliding, liquid still, flowing, and you see even the flow is a little bit slower.
So cool.
Right now. Like she had begun to rest, but she comes and are you in your as you're at the doorway, Donnie, are you sitting on the steps or are you standing up in your psyche?
I'd imagine that he would be standing up at like kind of a bow, but he's also wearing the white robes. Like every time that he goes back in, it's always the white robe.
That makes a lot of sense. Make a note of that, just because I may forget that at some point. And that's an important tenor because that is definitely not how Wax showed up.
Oh yeah. And he has the blood dripping from his hand. Always when he's in there too.
Okay.
The thing carved in.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. even though it's long since healed on your physical form.
It's like almost as if it's bleeding the gold. Like his blood is almost
has like a tinge of gold.
Tinge of a hole, because it's part of her, part of him, and that's like their tether.
She actually takes a good moment to study your blood. And she watches it form and slowly drip. And as the first one starts to drip, her hand moves with more alacrity than you've seen at any other time. And she catches the drip. And then brings it in. Let me weigh it then, what you have. She takes it in her hand. Understand, I can only weigh the representation of what it is to you. But perhaps that's enough.
Understood.
Lies. Sorrow. Ugh. Terrible, terrible oppression. This may serve a purpose when you are at war. It's awful to me. And I would only keep it if you had dire need of me keeping it here, young Titus.
I'll take it. Is there any redemption to it? Any redeemable quality? For justice can only be punishment.
If there was, it died with the man who made this. This was not made by your Capio, though. I don't think. I can be wrong. I am not the resplendent lady. However, it's rare. And she gives you a little smile.
Aww.
And then she hands it back to you. Okay, Toby, this is going to be a little weird, and for our faraway friends, this is not going to make sense probably for many episodes. Give me a roll, as this is going on with him.
It's a 10 on the die.
God damn. It's not really helping me, dude.
Flip a coin. It landed on itself.
Okay.
A whisper.
It's a whisper.
You just eat it out.
Whisper.
I'm the one talking to a sword over here.
Well, she manifested. She didn't have to whisper sweet things into your ear.
Sweet nothing.
Literally nothing.
Rabble, rabble, rabble. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather,
Presence is
yellow
stronger
leather.
for a moment. Ineffably strong, painfully delicate, full of sorrow and resolve at the same time.
As I am just sitting in contemplation or speaking with Wesa about dragons.
Probably.
Cool.
It's a common topic to talk about.
For some reason, you start to see Grip, a shadow, a facsimile, not him, but like an echo of him also forming on the steps and then gone.
What was that?
You are different from the other two. Occasionally, in the ancient lines, there are still fragments of the sight. I believe your twin has that gift more strongly than she shows the world, and there is some splinter of a splinter yet within you. That means, Titus, that piece of stone, it has, at least as a symbol, a part to play in this. If I were advising Wax or Jason, I would counsel them to destroy it. You are you. I don't know you well enough yet. I am watching you, and I am listening, and I am here, and I will be here, as long as the flesh shall endure.
I know my sister will love you. Thank you.
She pauses for a moment. Perhaps it is not too early in our relating to one another for me to tell you this. Your sister is strongly, strongly here. I can feel her, even having never met her. With her
She's
hand.
here. And then he's going to pull up and he's going to take another piece of blood. And just be like, she's always with me.
You shared the same womb at the same time. How could it be otherwise?
She's smarter than me. Thank God.
Perhaps,
Stronger too.
in some ways. And yet you are the one who is to weigh as Bellator Sanctus.
One else should be jealous.
She, Titus, does not make mistakes.
I know. And I will no longer make them myself by trusting. Trust will be earned. Proven.
That is wise.
And KPO will understand the full extent of what a cost is to break that trust.
For what it's worth, if this was the heart's desire of a person, truly, and they understood what it was, that is no one I would want here.
It would never be allowed.
For now, young Bellator, Valet.
Bye. Did I get any inkling that it was of shape of grip?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it was
The
just
second that he's like on that fire and he's sitting there and he's in front of him, he's like,
And then, so a question that I would have, obviously I have my own reaction. Is there in any way, any indication that it is linked to the thing that he is doing? Or is it just something that I'm experiencing internally?
I know it's an unlikely roll for you, but at
another
advantage,
10 coming right up.
at advantage, go ahead and make an insight check
Ooh, come on, big -2. So that's a 14.
on the die, or
No,
total?
16 on the die, total 14.
Okay.
And that's an 18 on the die for a total of 16.
Wow. Okay. A little glimmer of you know who is operating through you that day, or in that moment. And when Titus's eyes lock onto yours, you look up at the same time, and you don't think it was just the weight of his gaze that got your attention.
Aren't you full of surprises?
What were you doing just now?
Warriors sometimes talk to their swords. You remember how you swung my old one, playing with it, trying to destroy?
Yeah?
Sometimes they're meant to protect and counsel.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with blood and bone and starlight and sorrow and resolve?
Why does the water have a tide? Everything is connected.
What were you? You were talking to your sword? You were talking to Concord. And you...
And you were there for a moment, weren't you?
Was I?
I'm asking you.
How am I supposed to know what you saw? How can that be possible?
There's a lot of things in our blood. Most importantly, history. And our future. I just know there was no mistake in you being with us, Grip. Get some rest.
Who is on first watch?
I'll take it.
Okay.
So just for...
And after during that time, I will walk over and I'll talk to Marcus and kind of give him a debriefing of that piece.
Okay. Like a quick. Okay.
Play first watch with him.
So yeah, I would have... Wesa would have gathered kindling.
prepare a
There would
campfire,
actually be
yeah.
a proper fire.
Yeah, between your abilities and Wesa's foraging, and Ajax's whittling, you have a nice little. You actually have a nice little tidy.
I would keep
campfire going.
looking at him to see what he's making, like in a kind of intimidating but encouraging way, like.
Like an art teacher to the class clown.
Make
Better not be drawing with a drawing.
make a Pimtimidation roll.
Oh.
So, intimidation.
Intimidation.
Yeah, what's persuasion?
Persuasion.
11. Okay. At this point, it's just kind of piling on. So anytime you look at him, he averts his gaze. He stays away. He stays opposite of you, like wherever you're at in the little ring. He just unsubtly moves over there. In your culture, of course, that would be a gross insult. But these people are so much less nuanced than what you grew up with.
It's nuanced, yeah.
It's good to
So, as we had gotten the fire set up, I would have asked her to go through the experiences with the dragon, what happened, and how she recalled those things, and what her impression was of that. Which are things that that I know as a player that I don't know yet as a character.
With Tech-Pottle.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you oblige? Do you tell him all about all? Okay.
So we would be having that conversation, and I assume at that point that's when Titus and I would have our shared moment.
Your shared moment.
Yeah.
Which would just be kind of like a.
let the
There would
dragon
be a
finish
moment
the
where I just like kind of shut down for a minute. I'm kind of like, and that would be when we like, our eyes pop up and we're looking at each other.
Well done. Defiant Chaos is chaosing out. He thank you for the $5.
Bless you.
And he in all caps with half a dozen exclamation points afterward. Chaos! A call to chaos. You see,
That's why we're here.
Isn't there enough chaos?
sure, it's probably enough well, not for his taste apparently.
Nor mine.
So okay, we have first watch. Corey, give me a little stealth roll.
Who is this?
Also, yeah, Merrick's laying next to behind Titus. In all respects.
What's he officially doing?
Probably meditating with Winter's Harvest.
That is going to be a...
She's gonna go with you. She's gonna probably take your
18.
watch.
Straight 18.
18? Yeah. Okay. I will. How alert? You got. I mean, you're alert, and this island has some nasty crap on it. So both of you make perception checks. Both Marcus and Titus make perception checks
14.
because you beat their passive, but
15.
15. Okay. I mean, you're reasonably alert. You're mainly looking for the shadows, though, and potentially, unfortunately, some restless dead. So, Avad does come back. By the way, so this is before. This would have been before your stealth checks. Let me just run through that real quick. He does come back. He cuts it pretty fine. He comes back about literally the last couple flickers that you would want to be out there in the dark. And have Nilishli and have the other members who aren't on first watch, have they already kind of bedded down
At least preparing.
at this point? Okay.
Preparing, maybe not.
Okay,
asleep.
not asleep yet.
If it's right before dusk, you know, that I'd imagine.
Before we all rest, let me make some water for everyone. We fill up our skins. We mightn't have to need it for a while.
Aye.
And so I'm gonna go down. Is there any kind of depression that I can make this in? It's a lot of water, so.
Only you knew somebody who could like just dig the earth.
By the way, speaking of my shovel, thank you.
Or that.
At that point, then I'm just gonna dig out.
Okay,
a
just
nice
yeah.
big
So
trench.
you very quickly you use the trowel of colossal excavation, I believe, is what Grim Reaper.
Love it.
So
So good.
This is so great. I love this.
it would have made Pollux. It would have made life at Pollux so much easier. Okay, and then what do you do?
Kneel down, grant us water so that we might refresh and revitalize ourselves, dear Tware. Just through my hands.
First level. First level
first
spell.
level,
Okay. How much does it produce, Randy?
It produces, I just have this right here, 10 gallons of clean water within range of an open container. So the earth would be the open
That's
container.
pretty good. Okay. So what comes out, because you've never done this before,
Right. This is kind
you feel her easily and gracefully answer your call. Of course, gracefully because she's a major goddess, but coming through you, and you see there's like a mist of fine gold particles. They hang in the air for a moment and then condense, and there's pristine water in the hole now.
That's so incredible.
Wow.
Thank you.
Ajax's eyes about pop out of his skull at this.
I'm gonna start filling.
Okay.
Come over, fill. As much as you need.
And then as soon as he sees you doing it, he scrambles over there and he starts.
Don't kill yourself.
Waisa would
It'd be shame for a
drink it.
sailor to drown on land.
And he actually does choke a little. That would, Domini. That it would.
She would drink it, but she would also just kind of like splash it all over her face and her hair and like
Like a cleansing ablution. Okay. Nilishli joins you in that. She sits opposite. She kneels the same way that you are, and the two of you just have a moment of ritual and cleansing. After everything that Nilishli's been through, she hasn't been talking very much. She's still kind of in deep process right now, and she's just splashing it lightly over herself, and without any prompting from you, seemingly on reflex, she goes and she touches the 3 points that are associated with the 3 primary gods, and then looks a little surprised and expresses that to you through her eyes. And then,
Mirror her.
yeah, and just has that dynamic with you for a moment, and then indicates the place she's going to sit down, takes Winter's Harvest, and she too seems in substantial conversation with her weapon in a far less easy path than Titus is currently enjoying with Concord. So, okay.
So as I would go over to fill up my skin, is Marcus still hanging out near the?
Imagine so.
You did this?
No. The way I did.
Nice. And I'm gonna just kneel down over it. I'm gonna just put my hand over it. It's like in the air, and I'm just gonna start moving the water.
You see the water
And
move to his.
And then it just like moves and fills up, goes into the skin.
Earth and water now.
Marcus, have you drank?
Yes.
Everyone's, and then Titus, before going last, he would actually take a little bit and polish off Concord from all the blood and gore
yeah,
stuff.
God, there's
and
a
then after everyone's done, then he would drink.
Nilishli would probably have done that too.
Yeah.
It's definitely when she sees you doing it, she's like, yep, he's over there. Because you still have the Oxcon on, you still have that empowered necklace of your people.
Yeah.
That kind of had that knowledge in it. And you know that it allows you to understand Draconic. With proficiency, make a history check.
History. It's gonna be 13.
Okay. So the Oxcon offers you up a little nugget of knowledge, like a phrase, just pops into your head from it. And it's something to the effect of, the dragon is equally a creature of land and water.
Okay.
And importantly, and I'm going to be explicit about this because I want to make sure the player knows this. So for your culture, and as far as your character has ever heard or seen or had described to her, dragons only come as green dragons.
Green?
So in her mind, all dragons are green dragons.
Okay.
And anything other than that would be a bizarre anomaly to you.
And have I also thought that dragons were mostly of land?
Not necessarily. But in fact, give me another roll while you're kind of thinking history again with proficiency. Same. Basically, the Oxcon's giving you proficiency.
Well, doesn't matter because I got a 7.
Okay. There's another. So what it's trying to give you is a quick visual summation of the fall of Keodal, of the Green Doom coming and obliterating that once glorious city. But instead, all you get are these kind of distorted half-second images, and it doesn't really convey the tale. But it may be something that you want to circle back to, Waisa, when you have a chance. And again, you can feel that bubbling up from the Oxcon.
Do I get a sense that the waters are more dangerous than I perceived?
Maybe more like the waters are. Maybe you weren't perceiving them correctly.
Okay.
There's more to consider there.
Angel, timing wise, am I able to, I just want to know, observe any of whatever that was going on there?
I was still waiting for, this would be before
Or is this
Vod came
before I
back.
get there? I don't know. You let me know.
Normally I'd have you roll for it, but I'm going to say no, Corey, because your character, after last night, is all too aware that you need to find light. And you're about to the point where you're desperate enough that you're going to try to make it yourself, and then you see light. So you would
Is that before or after
take your chances.
the water's pouring?
Probably after. Probably after.
Okay.
So that would look, and I'll have you make a roll when you get there, but that would look a little weird that you have this perfect little pool
of water
that's just sitting there of pristine of it's getting a little muddy now, but of somewhat of close to pristine water and a perfectly shaped little ditch, a little teardrop of a ditch, inverted teardrop, I guess, of a ditch.
And do I recognize anyone?
We'll get there. Okay. Avad comes back. I have good news and bad news, Domini. Which would you put for first?
I'd be listening.
Okay.
I was like bad news.
The Storm's Mare is, if it was there recently, it's long gone now.
Understood.
The slightly better news is that I have to say that he looks over to Grip.
Susan.
As a teenager should, yes. That I would imagine with the same storm that destroyed his ship, it seems to have stirred up other wreckage as well. We might be able to salvage something, but I won't know until there's light.
Understood.
Because remember, just out of character, just to remind, because it's been so bloody long, remember that when you were coming in, it was like the Sargasso
records,
Sea.
yeah.
It was just like generations of this shit had piled up. So some of it appears to have been drawn to the beach, large chunks. But as I say, I'm not sure what resources we have until dawn.
We'll have to make enough and make them work.
Did you come across any life?
Life?
Mm-hmm.
Or the lack thereof.
More that. As far as I can tell, had I not seen it with my own eyes a mere few days ago, I would have told you that there was nothing, that there had been no ship, no intact ship that had been there. It's like it just came and went.
So no bodies?
Not that I could see. There are, if they're scattered among the wreckage, however, it's beyond the telling.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Van.
He kind of gives both of you a little half bow.
Get some rest. We'll take first watch.
What watch do you want me on?
Your eyes are best at night. North Island. I'd say mid.
Mid, aye.
I'll wake you up in 4 hours.
Torches, yeah. Okay.
Been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Different on this island.
Okay. He crawls next to Marcus, and then takes what little he has in terms of bedding, more like a cloak and a glorified, glorified fur, and then.
Would there have been enough water prior to Titus cleaning himself?
We would have waited until everything was done.
To fill up a pot for some cooking and whatnot. Okay.
Yeah, 10 gallons that's a fair bit.
Gotcha. I'm gonna just make some simple home stew while we're just sitting there.
Okay. No, that's a
Stretch out what supplies we have left and just make it into a bigger stew.
Well, you were out, so are you going to try to forage? Are you going to try to forage near the light?
We have all that rations that we took from the bodies.
Oh, from the bodies.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yep.
You're right. Good call.
Taking inventory, the
Good call.
meats, strip those up, put
Okay,
those in
that's
there.
right. No, that's good. I was getting actually a little bit worried because the E word was lurking there if you go without food.
Empty.
We'll say it's
Excited?
excellent.
Exaggerated.
Excellent.
Excelsior.
Energized.
That new coming faraway friends would be exhaustion, but that's a dirty word in this part.
You said that.
Don't
Scared me.
you didn't hear anything. Okay, so no, good call. So you take some of the hardtack biscuit and cured fish, and perhaps some smoked arpo meat, and then
What do you got from this? Tossing things.
yeah, and then you're tossing in. I mean, you're gonna make something edible. Just humor me and give me a cooking. Yeah, give me a cooking roll.
Yeah, it's not bad. I got a 12 on the roll.
12 on the roll. Okay.
Whatever adds to it.
Cooking,
Survival.
Performance.
I was gonna default to int. Yeah, I'll default to int.
Survival's so much better.
I know.
It's a proficiency one. All right. Int is going to still
no, because you actually do. There actually is a proficiency with cooking, specific to cooking.
Still a 14.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's especially hungry. I mean, because you're getting there.
Yeah,
and
plenty for everybody.
Definitely when they wake up, they're going to be hungry. You know, his ass as a growing boy is certainly going to be hungry.
Father and me is already setting aside some.
3 times as much as everybody else.
I've had a growing boy in my family before. I understand what this is.
You currently have a growing boy in your family who is much larger than Grip, but still there. Okay.
Call them corn.
Now, so now as they're talking, you're creeping up. You almost died last night to the shadows. And in fact, Corey, I'm going to have you make a roll of this, you know the survivors, what little remains. Speaking of what little remains, give me a general roll for those people. Let me see if, like a survival roll in that group. Let me see if
But to add my bonus? I'm joking.
we'll do this in 2 tiers.
Well, this is 15.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Flat.
And then what would it be for you? What would the roll be for you?
For me, it'd be 20.
20. All right. With your help, you have managed to keep those fools alive for the nonce, but it's only a matter of time before you stumble into something. The game here is surprisingly difficult. Somebody got bitten, is already bitten, and has a bloated leg, and you're from some poisonous snake.
How far away is that landing versus here, roughly?
Unfortunately, it's all the way on the other side of the island.
Okay.
Which still is not huge because the island is not big. I mean, like you could definitely traverse that in, less than a day, half a day or something,
right
there and back.
And the ship is still intact and everything, or
not at all?
No.
Oh, no.
So it's just they're on the beach, just hanging out.
Yeah, because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You were the most intrepid amongst your fellows, and you or at least at least the second most intrepid. Okay, so you come on up. You see these 2 large, very well armed men who apparently are on watch. You see the rest of the camp with Avad, Ajax, and Ajax looks just you kind of your gut tells you he's in a similar shape. You've seen plenty of misery and refugees. Make an insight roll for me.
I'm not really good today. That'd be insight?
Yeah.
22.
Wow. Okay. So you take a moment to, just a moment, because you can't dally here, you can't dither, but you do look at the body language of the people sleeping and how they're arrayed. From Ajax, God, okay, there's a whole rabbit hole I want to go down with geek out on Batgirl comics, but I won't do it. She had the ability to read body language, is the very, very short reason, and she sacrificed the ability to speak, or her ability to speak was sacrificed for her so that she could perfectly read body language, like to a superpower level. So you're looking around, and you basically see like Avad's dependence on Marcus. You see the tight sisterhood of these 2 women who look very different, but you kind of know would like swiftly turn and kill for each other. Mm-hmm. You see him. What's Grip's body
sleeping
language?
In a little nest of his own making.
A little nest that looks a little too well constructed, a little bit apart from everybody. Is Grip a side sleeper, stomach sleeper, or back sleeper?
I imagine curled up like a cat.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like on his side a little bit. I think he like tosses and turns a little bit, but I think he's just kind of like.
As the soil moves left and right as he turns.
And he seems rather comfortable. And yes, to your earlier question about that. And then you seem to have traversed the island from point to point, from coast to coast, as it were, or beach to beach.
Does he see me?
Yeah, no, you're
so
one of the two large,
Oh, just the two
well-armed
large,
men.
okay.
Yeah.
I know they're speaking Daro.
Yeah.
Am I close enough to Ajax? Is he having many bad dreams while he's sleeping? Because if he is, I'm going to be close enough to just put a hand on his leg.
I mean, he's definitely twitching.
Yeah, so just put a hand on his leg to just relax him,
Okay.
ease it up, just like I do for my kids on bad nights.
Okay. Even though you're like probably the same age, but yeah,
whatever.
It's good. He's a young soul. Okay.
And Daro. Good evening. I come in peace.
I just immediately sort out, ready to go.
Okay.
Hands up.
What do you do?
I walk
just
forward.
sit there, like, for the moment.
All right.
You walk up.
I walk a little bit and like, Agrippa, his crew. I'm one of them.
Agrippa.
Grip.
Yeah, and then as I'm just walking up, and I want you to imagine the most beautiful sword, literally about to start
Are
breaking.
you going to move at all?
Am I moving? I'm not walking in, but I'm walking enough in the light to where.
Right. No, but he's walking.
Yeah,
up
I'm
on
walking
you
up towards
with
you,
this
sword completely
gleaming
drawn.
white and gold
Glock.
sword of legend.
Who are you?
So you have it at the hollow. Unless you tell me differently, he places it at the hollow of your throat.
I am. Khalid. Do I recognize the Lord or anything? Is there any recognition around that?
Probably make. Actually,
my sigil, Capio took it.
I'm gonna know Capio took that. Yeah,
just
I'm
have
gonna let you ride off of that 22, Tori. Even though it's muted on this island, remember Dignitas works differently on this island because it actually can't be damaged, because it's a proving ground. But actually, now that it's reverting back to just plain old land, there is something in his voice and in the way that his eyes flash, that you feel his dignitas, which is actually greater than Titus currently knows it is.
Okay.
It's been increased by becoming a Bellator Sanctus, but he doesn't know that yet.
Domine, I am Khalid, first mate to the crew that brought Grip here.
Marcus, will you wake our friend?
Is he telling? I'm going to inside him this. Is he telling the truth?
Okay.
With clear mind.
Okay. So
Truth seeker. I'm sorry. Truth
So you hear the very common looking man who looks a good deal much older, maybe twice the age of this young lord that you're speaking with. You hear him murmur some sort of incantation. For your character, his understanding would be Arcana because of his background.
That's what he's seeing Marcus do.
Yeah, so I need to see what his understanding is.
20.
Okay, what you would think then, given the state of that no clerics have existed, but what you've been exposed to, you would think that he's some variant of a monobender, which immediately puts you more on guard than this man with a sword on you, because monobenders can be very dangerous if they're subtle. But because there's some sort of power, you don't know what it is, but you kind of smell a little bit of power in the air, and then he looks at you with a gleam in his eye. Marcus does.
I will at least suppress the shockness of
that
part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the part that I.
Make a deception roll.
Do his eyes dart towards Marcus?
We're about to see.
Okay. Because if they do, Titus
then
is going to
Marcus-
move
you already
Concord
made
to
the roll.
block his
I did
eyes.
make the roll for my insight check, which was a 19.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll something different for? Okay.
And that was with the.
That's with
Yep.
yes.
I will. That's a good question here.
You gonna burn that already? It's your choice.
No, I mean, on this one, no. I mean,
Okay.
you recognize them both.
So yes, his eyes do dart over there.
Okay, as they go to dart up, I'm going to move Concord as quick
In your
almost,
face.
and just block his eyes from Marcus and make eyes here, and
you
not so you can't look at him.
What do? Do you immediately shift your gaze? Okay. All right. 19, and what did you get, Corey?
I got. This is on. What is this? Deception. That would be 14.
Partly yes and partly no. I mean, he does know grip, like you're that much you're sure of, and you don't sense, but you sense a wariness, like an undertone of like he's being genial, but there's a wariness now about grip, about y'all.
Similar to the way we met with Avad when he first met us. Just that wariness of who we might be.
At best, and then he's unable to keep the shock of recognition on his face. So he clocked you as something. You don't know exactly what that is, of course, yet, but something.
Well, he does know Grip. I went over. Grip. I know. It's great, but you all get up. You have visitors here.
What?
Someone came to see you. You don't want to miss your visitor, do you? Up we come.
What?
He's saying he's from your crew.
I'll turn and look just to see.
You see Khalid.
He gives you a smile. Grip. My friend.
As your head turns, he's going to use Concord on your chin to directly at him.
Okay.
Yeah.
You survived. Good. He is part of the crew that brought me here.
Is he to be trusted?
Out of any of them. Yeah, probably.
And he's on your watch. Sit. And then he's going to take Concord and put it on top of your head and make you kneel.
I'll sit.
I won't kneel. I'll sit.
Yes, Domine.
Just so we're clear, I don't take any responsibility for him.
Good.
You seem hungry. Get your bowl of stew.
Thank you.
Marcus. I'm gonna just starts dishing up stew.
Titus, as you're having these rather oddly intimate interactions with the newcomer, I want you to make an insight check. And then, Corey, I want you to roll.
That's going to be a 17.
Just roll.
It is a 9.
9 on the die.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's deception, what would that be for you?
17.
Okay.
What?
So
Someone who's lies to me.
This is
That's not acceptable.
so you
18 minus 1 for insight.
yeah. It's about parried. It's marginal because it may be the stress of the situation. It may be the fact because you know that this man has braved the shadows to have come this far because you have a rough idea of where Grip's crew came from, even though you haven't been there. And with all of that, there's something that makes you slightly put it this way, there's nothing that is winning your trust right now about the situation. It's a little too convenient, and you're not sure exactly what to make of it.
And I would just ask, out of character, so you would have never seen Grip fully exposed like this. Like he's just fully topless.
Oh, that's true.
He's
No, that's a good point,
he's
Toby.
full dragon right now, which is not something that
So
you
you
would
did.
have seen
I mean, you
before.
have seen the face.
Okay,
of
but you're
course.
in like a hooded cloak and
Like, you
stuff.
would have seen like bits and flashes of it, but like it was.
Well, he was because of who he was. So you have seen his head, his full head before and everything. But yeah, because even when we'll just say departed, you were still fully clothed in cloak and whatever. So yeah, this now you're kind of seeing the whole body and how really like pretty seriously draconic it is. Yeah. Okay. Just describe your character a little bit. How he's armed.
He has a short sword on one side, a shield on his back, and a dagger, and he kind of, just for a quick image, he looks kind of like Oberon from Game of Thrones. As far as he has leather.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's kind of the gist of the overall image.
Are they being loud? Am I awake?
I was actually going to say that because of your observant trait, you don't hear. You didn't. I got a little bit tense. Make a perception roll.
21.
Okay.
Goodness.
So when
The dice are speaking.
when it was the sharpest, whatever that moment was, you can decide as the player. Your subconscious kind of like just nudged you a little bit, like, hey, you may want to pay attention. So you were in that liminal space between awake and not. Do you want to arouse yourself? Or do you want to let yourself, now that you know there's not, that there's not danger going on? That there's
No, she would keep her eyes open. I don't think she would make it clear that she's awake, but she would be wanting to understand who the hell this person is.
Okay, so you're listening. You can hear Nalishli's just sacked out. rhythmic breathing.
That's Milo.
She just snores. I like to think of it.
What of the others?
Some still survive. Barely.
How many?
How many are currently?
Half a dozen, and Cornelius is the one with the bloated leg now.
Half a dozen.
In your estimation, though, like this island's going to start picking them apart.
If they are left there, they will die. The island is hard to hunt, and
what a shame that would be.
It might be.
Why are you?
Got a crew back yet?
Why were you and Grip separated on this island? From your words.
what do I know of him leaving?
I don't think you consulted with anybody.
Fuck no.
I think Grip just left in the dead of night.
Woke up one day and he was gone.
And what was your purpose on this island?
I believe it's to take you.
No.
No.
No. So it was.
You told me this part is already.
From the perspective of the crew, Didmus, the merchant and co-owner of the Zephyr,
Yes.
was interested in cornering the market share of the profits from this brave new world.
Specifically the wool.
Of the wool.
The wool market up here.
We are merchants.
Wool?
And we heard there's plentiful of wool here, so we came to seek out that.
I lied to
chuckle.
them. I convinced the merchant to come here.
You brought them.
He didn't know it.
Did you lie to the merchant? Because I ain't seen any sign of wool around here.
Wool.
I mean, I heard the voice. North, always north. What was I to do?
Exactly
Same.
what you did.
Hey, Captain, I had a bad dream. Can you untie me and take me north?
Why were you tied up?
Look at me.
I can buy that.
And I suppose,
They wanted him dead, but I spoke on behalf of him to keep him alive.
Grip, is that true?
yeah. They found me not too long after I first came here.
Why'd you speak on his behalf?
Is it, I'm sorry, you're talking
Yeah,
to me?
we're talking.
Marcus is talking
Gotcha.
to Khalid.
He's obviously unique, and I just felt that he had a purpose. And killing someone for no reason is not a purpose.
Sure.
You can see he's kind of half Kuin. Or mostly Kuin.
Right.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with needing the captain's approval to execute someone. No.
Why are you out of here?
They are going to die out there. Grip has been gone for a while. I figured if he's still alive, there may be better chances with finding him. So I made my way here,
And
across the island.
You did manage to track him, by the way, just to make sure that
Okay.
not that. Yeah.
He's being honest and truthful about what he's saying.
Roll.
Same thing.
I'll roll for you, Corey.
You guys can go in there. I have something to say.
I got a 25.
25.
Hot dog.
And if I can glean intention off of a 25, that would also be lovely. If not, I didn't ask specifically
Lovely.
for that.
With the 25, I'll tell you, this is a layered man. So he is almost assuredly better at choosing his words and picking his shots than you are. And in a weird sort of way, even though they look nothing like each other, he kind of reminds you of Wesa in that way, that his words can have multiple meanings to them. But you feel like the bare facts of what he's telling you are accurate. So he tracked him. There was a crew over there that's
All right, I can
dying,
point another character.
dying and everything. Yeah.
5 minutes in. I can pick a third character. Thank you, endurance.
There could be nuance I'm missing, but I believe he is being honest with us.
What does Waisel want to do?
I'm just curious. Like, can she speak Draconian like at free will now?
You haven't tried
She would like to try at this moment.
right now.
Right now.
Okay.
And whisper it.
What sort of whisper are you talking about?
A nice little dissonant whisper? No.
No, guys. No.
You whisper. Where do you whisper to?
I'm whispering. I feel like I'm not far from Grip. I'm closer to Grip than everybody else. I'd whisper to him, like, I didn't know you've been through so much.
Do I recognize the tongue?
So the words flow out of your mouth. Your tongue twists in weird ways as you intend to speak in Daro, and then it comes out in a whisper in Draconic. You make a at advantage. Make a history check.
I mean, I do speak. Oh, that's a 20. That's a 20. But I do speak Draconic.
Oh, we did. Okay, you did.
I mean, that is just by virtue of the class.
The class. There's only one way you could have gotten that. Okay.
Skin gave it away.
So you
Scales.
well, no, with that backstory, because I'm not a huge fan of people just being born with languages.
I've been interpreting it just kind of as like a natural expression. Like when he was calling the fire, when he's calling the earth, he's not really. The words were just coming naturally.
It's like Harry Potter at this.
No, you know who would have berated you for your linguistic sloppiness. And would have forced you to.
So from
learn
that, I also got Old Speak and Alga, and I still have one more to choose.
Now, the Draconic would have come very naturally, very naturally, but you still would have needed some input on it. Okay, so...
So it was just my it's like snapped around to her, and it's like... And then responding in Draconic, you speak the tongue.
My necklace does.
Just kind of like a nod.
Do I recognize any shockness around that?
Boy, I feel like we're back at the Ages of Scotland. Roll
for shockness.
No, you do, because you could get killed here. And I assume that you're trying to keep your mirror up, so make an insight, make a deception.
And does your head turn and jerk towards them?
Dirty 20?
Because if it does,
You're more than I am.
Coming off.
oh no, I was gonna.
I was reading his shockness.
Yeah.
Grips.
Yeah, his character is good enough. Okay, we're gonna do this, guys. Insight, Donnie. Insight, Marcus.
Can I use it as a cantrip, or do I need to use it? I wasn't preparing for it.
That I'm gonna say no.
13.
16.
16, and then you.
Oh, I'm sorry, 17.
And then 17, and then you roll a deception to see how well you're masking everything.
That's going to be a 19.
We're just going to establish these dynamics. Okay, so Titus and Marcus do not see you checking out. Grip's reaction.
And I'm not trying to. I'm not even aware of
I'm
that.
still ditching Stu.
And you were rolling for
My own deception.
your
I
own
got
deception.
A dirty 20.
Okay, and you got a dirty 20. Yeah, so you don't really catch.
I was looking at Grip to see his response to her speaking Draconic.
Yeah, you see him a little surprised, but
Okay.
anything going on with Wasey, you're not sure of. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to mask it as if I'm just like mumbling in my sleep. Like I don't actually want anyone to think I'm really that
Oh,
person.
okay.
But you are
whispering
speaking Draconic though.
Well, she's
Whispering it to him.
yeah. So she's mumbling
foreign language.
So you hear her mumbling some weird tongue, and Grip reacts to it. That's what comes of that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Thanks.
I know. I was just thinking that.
So we need to rest.
Show them your weapons. I put them on a shield and I just kind of kick them, kind of move them off, but they're
Thank
somewhere.
you for the water. Thank you for the water
Have stew. Enjoy.
and the stew. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you are pretty hungry. So, all right, you start
scarfing
eating.
down.
It's not the Ritz, but it'll do.
14.
How much longer are they on watch?
Oh, for a while, because he just got there.
Well, I'll probably go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next on the watch?
I'll be next with probably
And
English.
Even Ellishley. Okay.
And I had Vaude was going to be one.
Yeah,
But
we were actually gonna. I'm assuming it's just a quiet conversation between us at the start. I don't know if because of this individual showing up, we still have that conversation as we're just in the middle of our watch.
I don't think so.
Okay.
you wanted to have a
No,
Unless you just want- unless you
just
just
quietly to ourselves. If he's sleeping, everybody else.
I'm gonna go sleep.
You're gonna go to sleep. Okay.
I'm pretty exhausted.
Yeah, no, you're
tired.
tired. You've had a hell of a time.
Let me give you some comforts, and I'm going to tie your arms together. Precautions.
Okay. As you resist, that
How did it
happens.
happen?
I ain't feel this kind of animosity from him, but if that's what you wish.
I'm not
He
trusting you.
feels like a victim here. He doesn't feel like an aggressor. And KPO always felt like an aggressor to me.
I was quite exhausted.
I understand. I think your thing.
I don't want anyone to be at our camp that we don't know and just met tonight with weapons on that person.
Toya gifted me with an ability to see deeper into the souls of people and their motives. It's spotty right now as I'm getting a hang of it, but it came out pretty strong with him.
Let me know when you get the hang of it.
It's coming along quickly.
Yeah.
Marcus, you have a dream.
Oh.
Dream of Marcus.
Dream to dream.
It's a very simple dream. You dream of a collen fruit bush.
Oh.
And you're you in the dream. And as you look at the bush grows in front of your eyes. And then as you look up, you see a weird overlay of both the cathedral and the Touch Gem compound at the same time.
Love it. Gonna walk up to it.
You walk up in that dreamlike state, and there is a hole right next to the base of the collen fruit bush. It's empty, and it should be filled.
Do you want to fill it with my light? I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna just fill this with your presence, dearest Toya.
As that same fine mist, golden mist, comes out, it begins to limn a form that you know well.
Jason?
No, Merrick.
Oh, Merrick. There you are.
And then the moment passes.
Is he too ephemeral to actually just reach out and hug him?
Yeah.
Unless he'll try anyway.
Your arms, you kneel down and reach down into the shallow hole. Your arms pass through the space. Your eyes, you kind of briefly wake up and you see the still wrapped form of Merrick next to Titus.
Titus.
He's sleeping.
Oh.
Do you wait until dawn?
I do.
Okay.
He needs rest after this, but I'm still gonna go over and sit next to Merrick.
Okay.
Head Titus is sleeping next to Merrick. Body.
Oof. Actually, that's a good point for us to pause, I think. Oh.
Bye. Holy cow.
Okay, so that's going to be us going into intermission, dear friends. And we will continue on the back end of it, and we'll see what's up with perhaps the Sargasso Sea, or maybe we may be making another stop. We'll see. Depends on the fellowship. Thank you so much for coming with us to this point. We'll see you on the back end.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
And we're back. Thank you so much for returning. And on the back end of this, so we're going to try something a little different tonight. We're going to attempt a raffle.
A raffle.
And the prize is going to be full of raff. Ooh, probably not Roth, hopefully.
Whoa.
And the prize is going to be a code for an Eldritch Foundry Mini.
They're back!
Yay, they're back! Yes, we finally found a way to make it work. And I assume that our goddesses of the chat will lead you in that and let you know what you need to do.
The Valkyries of the chat.
The Valkyries of the chat. I don't know. Well, I don't know. They may not be choosers of the slain. I'll just go with goddesses for now, and we'll see. And then Donna, you had an important announcement.
Well, every time that we are leaving comments, I love it when there's a live chat, but we don't get to see it. We don't get to interact with it. So everything that we get to see is usually after the fact. So we're encouraging everyone for your MVP votes. Please make sure that those are on the comment page of the posted video after we are done being live. First one to comment. I'm taking the executive action here.
Gets a hug from you.
Gets a hug. Actually, yeah, that's fair. I was going to say one of my dice. But for 3 people to comment, and then you argue, first person in 10 comments, guess what? I'll mail you a dice from the table.
Whoa. You may not have any dice left, but yes.
First person to 10 comments. You get one, not one of these ones, but one of my
Okay, Island. Okay.
But please, it really helps the algorithm. It really helps us get going. And, I love our Discord channel and I like our interactions. And we just always want to make sure that we can have those conversations in real time with people that watch the show. And
it's also nice to that point, it's also nice to see for just kind of the general public that's browsing what people found interesting.
100%.
Because by the time we're on the Discord channel, that's like, you're part of the Darkport, you're kind of part of the Darkport community.
Friends,
so it's like a different deal. But anything you can do, very much appreciate it.
Just do it.
Vote twice.
So hopefully we're and just fair warning, we're kind of
with yourself.
We're trying out the raffle, so I think it's in place, but we'll see. Live television and all that. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we'll
try again.
Yep, we'll try again, and we'll keep iterating on it until we do get it.
Fight for that money.
And with that,
It's time.
Candle of Tales.
Tatiana.
Damn.
So
once again, if you do a supercut of that, I will mail you $20. I will give me your physical address. I'll send you a supercut of every Candle of Tales singing from the first episode to now, and I want it to be strung together as one long one.
We're not trying to make a DC 25 torture. Okay?
I will. Hey, it's what I listen.
Nobody needs. Even we don't.
I listen to my own voice to go to sleep at night.
Well, I believe that.
I want to listen to all these beautiful sirens around the table.
So, Marcus, you wake up with the dawn. A lifetime of habit hasn't deserted you on this island. You see, Khalid, you spent a very uncomfortable night with your hands bound, but you've been in worse, honestly.
Not a maniac.
And you are still breathing, so you're happy to be alive.
See the light.
To see the light.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, Wesa would have been a little sneaky in the night, and she would have seen.
Sneaky.
Yeah, she would have seen if she could. She would just be checking this guy out.
Okay, steal an artifact.
And see if No.
What's going on here?
That's the other one.
Why doesn't she bake tarts anymore?
No.
She'll still do that.
But she would see if she could get a bit of stray hair or just something that she could
just a little
sit
something.
with.
Okay.
And
just a little
ruminate
something. Make a sleight of hand
Okay.
that you do have proficiency in.
21.
Okay.
Has there been under 20? I
Need
don't
your
think
passives.
so.
Yes. Do you pluck a stray hair? Okay. And he has such luscious locks that it's easy. You take that, and you can.
Yeah.
He has a complicated smell from many different places.
Okay.
And Titus wanted to wake up before the party to do something as well.
Wouldn't my feet ever have any impact into this?
I mean, you got 2 of them, 10 toes.
That's still better. It's what's your passive?
Still better if we
It's
add
still
that to
higher.
it.
Yeah, it's still higher. And you're not in
21 passes.
and you're not in quote unquote danger. So yeah. Yeah, I did. Okay, what do you want to do with your little purloined hair?
I mean, I guess there's just like, she would just want to see, like, who the hell are you? Like, who are you?
You have
Okay, you've been
long hair,
places.
too,
Who are you? I want to know his tonality, his scent, his sense.
I mean,
Yeah, I was wondering the length of the hair too. Was it like a, or like?
I don't know.
Let me see. I mean, you're not really interacting with him, but he is asleep, and sometimes people are quite vulnerable then. So make an
Quite vulnerable.
an insight roll.
You smell different when you're awake.
See it?
I
She's
saw it
on
too.
fire today, guys. She got 25.
Oh my god.
this girl is on fire.
Can't stand that song, but it's the truth.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
Okay. Man, they are really putting you under the microscope, Corey.
Oh, come on. We've been through enough.
No. No, you're literally
Trust is earned.
Come in the middle of the night.
you're literally dealing with the horrific aftermath of KPO murdering your former crew and taking off and marooning you. So no, it's all absolutely
Appropriate.
It is right there.
Weird timing.
With a 25, there's a. Does your culture have that? No, it does not. So there's a scent. There's some sort of substance that you've never smelled on a person, and you know that a normal person, i.e., like a not you, wouldn't have picked up on this. And there's something about the way that he moves and has positioned himself, and you're kind of studying him for a while. You're seriously creeping on him for a while.
Stalker.
You smell different.
And while you're doing this, and I'll give you that nugget of info, but while you're doing this, Nalishli just looks at you and whispers, "Waisa, what are you doing?
To know who he is.
Is this man a danger?"
I'm discovering that.
Understood. Okay.
But you said something about the way his body
Yeah, something about the way that he's moving. It's almost like for a second you're like, oh gods, is he just pretending to be asleep? But no, it's deeper than that. There's some kind. He's even in his sleep, he's responding to you very slightly.
Interesting. Cool.
Your gut tells you that this would be a difficult man to catch unawares were he awake.
Good to know.
And that's, even with your 25, that's about all you can glean from his sleeping form.
Plenty.
And then it's dawn. I know you wanted to wake up a little bit early.
Yeah, he would have woken up and he would just be facing east and just praying with Concord. And it's kind of like surprisingly pious.
Okay.
It's kind of like his new regimen. And he's also praying over Merrick.
Without a word, you feel Concord's presence, and she joins you for this what's probably going to become a powerful morning ritual. And just is there with you, witnessing it. You know that time has no real meaning to her, and she experiences life in a fundamentally different way than you do. But she is a thinking being.
Yeah, and he's trying to experience life within that existence without time. Because he's only ever thought about what was next, not what was before and what could be forever.
As you're there and you're more receptive, Titus, you can feel, you can't see it yet, and maybe she doesn't want to interrupt you with the visual, but you can feel that internal cathedral beginning to open or change a bit or expand, as though she's answering your need and beginning to unlock and open different pathways. And I'll just tell you, as a game mechanic, since this is, like deeply homebrewed, essentially what you focus your intent on, and also how Titus behaves and the choices he makes, is going to have a direct correlation to how the sword mechanically behaves and what you're capable of with it.
Yeah, I've had 3 successes on the sword for rolls.
So there are some basic, right? There are some basic things, like it's always going to be enchanted weapon. You're always going to be Bellator Sanctus. Those are baselines. But what you develop from it and what that relationship is I'm almost certain it's going to be very different from the other two.
Yeah.
Because I did stat them out and I did have them in my head so that I just kind of knew what those two archetypes were.
I just thought about it as a shift from Titus's normal martial training, his more so inwards within the cathedral, then doing a martial training within the side of that. So like training his soul as well as training his body, but visualizing it more so than physically acting it out.
Okay.
And at times that might be meditation, but it's just kind of like.
Let's make sure to explore that as you go along. I want to see what that looks like when you're not kind of in crisis mode to an extent. Okay.
Do I wake up before the dawn as well?
No, you wake up about with the dawn. Yeah.
Okay. Well, take a look around. Know where he's at. Know where he's looking. Note who's in front of him. Move over, kneel down beside them. Don't say anything. Just do my own morning meditations that I do as well. Because
they're a little different now.
Yeah, they are a little different now. And I'm just going to breathe in the morning and just accept the light into me like every other morning, just with purpose this time. Just commune silently both with him and Toya.
Okay. You have your own morning rituals that you run through as well, silently.
Yeah, I don't know if I need my hands or not for that.
No, you're untied.
Okay.
Titus would have untied you when he was away.
Okay. I will.
Group.
Hi. Still asleep, or at least laying down. When he wakes, will not really shift, is still just kind of laying there contemplating. Thinking back to Tess. Remembering, realizing he hasn't really spent some time looking at this ring or feeling any difference in himself because of this ring, and has some of Tess's words echoing in his head now that he is confronted with.
And Tess is
Tesserin Stormwarden.
In case our faraway friends missed that.
The former guardian of this cathedral, of the cathedral in this island.
There you go.
And a specific thing that Tess mentioned was their commitment or duty to the chosen versus someone like the crew, and how Tess had a fundamental different duty to someone who was chosen.
Yes, absolutely.
And so he's thinking about that, but also realizing, oh yeah, what is this ring going on now? So it's just kind of considering if there's any difference in his body or how he feels, because it was to keep him warm on cold nights, I believe was the expression.
You feel like you need to set aside some time and really delve into, excuse me, really need to delve into this ring.
Yeah. So I'll put that kind of in its own compartment, and as I'm hearing noise coming behind me, just kind of like roll backwards and like kind of pop up like a gymnast.
I love that.
Okay.
And then just like, is everybody else awake?
Pretty much, yeah. Initially just goes from being off, eyes snap open, she sits up, and then she's on. There's just a binary. And she's looking around. Actually, you hear a soft grunt from her as she looks at Titus in serious prayer in the morning. And good, we weren't attacked.
It is good.
What is the saying, Waisa? Take nothing for granted.
That is the saying, really, and it's appropriate. And Waisa's just like combing her hair and really looking at the horizon, like desperately. Just
You're feeling how far away you are now, just how far off, because it's water as far as the eye can see, except you're on the wrong end of a moy, of the great lake.
Nelly, will you sit with me just for a moment as we ask for the support of Taluk?
I am coming to know Taluk better.
Me too.
She sits opposite you. Ajax is still asleep. Avad, though, at some point has gotten up silently, and you see him staring north, and maybe a little bit to the east. Just fixedly, basically the direction you all came from.
Do I know who Talik is?
Make a history check. It's possible. Actually, I'm sorry. It'd be religion.
Yeah. That will be a 23.
Oddly enough, you do. The Urlit are not really that well known. I mean, at all as a people. But because you're part Kuand, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you're part Kuand. So because of the Kuand's unfortunate history with the Urlit, you are aware of the major gods of the Urlit pantheon. Because plenty of your people on your mother's side have been sacrificed to them.
Wonder why.
I would have noticed that he's Kuand, because I'm Kuand as well.
He looks 2 rivers like you.
You're cool.
Yeah. I'm 2
Rivers.
2 rivers.
I have 2 rivers.
Interesting.
She just carries herself like full Urlit most of the time.
Yeah.
But am I your brother?
Fuchsia?
You're so much older.
Way too old, yeah. But not the twin, but you were just the older brother. Yeah, sure.
Uncle guy.
Yeah, minor logistical question. We do recover some hit points because of the
That's
long rest
true.
and spell
You do.
slots and things.
If
from
you
that nature.
if you are damaged, roll a die 4 plus your con.
I'm full.
Die full.
I should have used my last 2 level spells. Level 2 spell. That we
Probably should have.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
The triangle problem.
Retroactively, I did now. Hey.
Ooh, plus what?
Plus your con bonus.
Okay, so plus 5.
5 more? Yeah, nice.
That's good.
So I'm at 27.
Are you full up?
2 points.
You're 2 under. Okay. Grip, are you damaged?
I'm 1 under.
You're 1 under.
Actually,
And you took a beating.
Big beating.
well.
I'm at I'm at 16 right now.
By your fellow Nalish.
Because preserve life was only able to take me up to half. Yep. So
Yeah.
That's how that works.
yep, and I got 4 as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Plus 3 more, so that's 7 now.
Yeah. Your chosen essence is just going into overtime. Nalishly too. Roll for Nalishly, yeah. She was down.
Oh.
Another 4?
4 plus
roll for all
5.
of us?
5. That's 9 points for her. That's a fat
Roll
night's
below a
rest.
freaking 10
That's
these days.
fat. You're welcome.
Nine.
Welcome, sis.
Right. So she's looking better for the rest.
Right. Now that we're kind of refreshed and in our morning, I will head over to Titus, presuming he's not meditating with his sword, or still meditating with his sword.
Probably shaking.
Still kind of is. But, not as
I
intense.
would have been probably one of the last ones to wake up.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you're almost done. Nalishly's now staring at Merrick's covered body, kind of frowning.
I'm just taking it all in, sitting there.
Yeah. No, you need to see what these people do.
Can I feel about it when a appropriate time is to interject at this point?
Sure.
Gotcha.
You wait for a moment and then you kind of feel her about to look away.
We have to take the body back to the chapel. And I'm just saying it looking straight ahead. I was given a dream last night. And I believe that the dream interpreted it as by burying him there with the tree that we planted, we can form a union, or at least an alliance, between the Great Mother and Tuea, which is always going to have been there to begin with. But it was very clear he needs to be buried there with it.
Titus, without looking up and still kind of on his sword, almost like stone praising. You are her emissary.
You sure?
I am.
I feared as much.
Titus, I want to carry him. You have carried enough. Let me.
Thank you, Nelishli.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she kneels down. She kneels down and she seems maybe even a little emotional. It's hard to tell sometimes with her. But she picks Merrick up.
We will bring his bracelet,
Still on.
his swords, home.
We take the braid of Granny Touch Gem that he put into his own hair and take it back to Jasmine as well.
Leave it with him. We shall take some of his hair.
Enough.
That's how he'll find her.
All right, then.
Nelishly starts walking, unless...
So where are we going?
Rouse Ajax if he's not already up.
Okay, yeah, he kind of just... He doesn't even question it, he just brushes himself off.
Aren't you going to look and see if there was a ship that could be salvaged?
We need to bury our friend.
I should have done it before. It's not a...
You are welcome.
Surprisingly, it's not a big island.
Khalid walks over to Grip. I asked the Domine if I can come with you. I'm useful a navigator, as you know. I just want to start my merchant ship.
Speak for yourself. It will serve you better.
You're not going to get left behind, are you? On the beach?
No.
You're going to follow them?
Yeah.
Domine, I am a useful navigator. I just wish to get back so I could potentially start my own business, a merchant ship, just trade.
And what of the others? Would they come too?
Would you speak on their behalf?
No,
You would leave them.
I will not speak on their behalf. It is up to... I have no position to say anything other than if you all think they should be saved and are good crewmen, then...
And y'all are walking as this is going.
Do you think they're good crewmen?
I mean, yeah, no, it's a good crew, but you know, everybody has their various issues, and
They can sail a ship.
Can they build one?
Do I know they can build one?
you doubt it.
I don't think so. But I look at I have an idea, but depending upon the size of the ship you wish to build, you may need 4, 6, 8 people to man it at least, especially with that thing out there.
Are they innocent?
You won't know that. It's objective at the end of the day.
Then they will be weighed. For the time being, please be quiet.
As you wish,
Okay.
but Domine.
Forgive me. Let me just make sure I understand what's happening. We're returning to the cathedral so we can bury your friend.
Yes.
And then we're going to go find the old crew.
Yes.
We're going to come back here and salvage a ship. We're going to go save the village. We're going to take me to see the dragon.
Look, I snuck that one in there.
Well, it was mentioned and promised, so I just thought I'd, leave that there.
Well, I heard someone speak something that kind of piqued your interest.
It's the first you heard of it.
I know, I'm
Dragon, yeah.
I'm keeping it shut.
And if on cue, Nelishly, what's your passive?
Waste.
Delicious.
Oh, sorry, Wesa. Just thinking about her. Okay, never mind. Q doesn't happen. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, unfortunately I am. All right. So you continue on and you pass by the tattered remnants of Barolus's camp, which you had come by a slightly different route, so you passed closer to the camp than you had before. You still don't like the cut of its jib. You go past the no man's land, Zosh, and the formerly glorious Zosh tent is just a ragged structure in the wind.
Grip, to answer your question directly, our business here ain't done, and we are coming back. We have to go back to the island and put that village to rest, however that might be. And in the process, we'll probably have to be taking at least a moment with the dragon. We will be coming back.
So that part about coming back, the unspoken implication there is that you will have left, which we can't do because we don't have a ship. Is that correct?
Well, it's the idea of salvaging the ship around the island, because on all sides of the island there are wreckage, not just that side of the island.
Well, it seems like that will not be accomplished overnight or even within a moon, likely. So why not accomplish those things that you have to do while you're here?
Why don't we see what is really happening before we make any more plans?
How about we bury our friend? And then we'll discuss it. Understood, Grip?
He's not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
You go past what would have formerly been the dome that Tesser and Storm Warden enforced. That's now just a little demarcation in the grass. You go past what is no longer the red field and merely looks like a loose grassland with some sparse foliage and trees. And you approach the cathedral, still beautiful, but not perfect. And mercifully, though, all evidence of the carnage that took place there yesterday, nearly all evidence is gone. The earth that you moved into the various berms and defensive positions is still there. The scuffs and the digs in the dirt are still there. So anything that actually had physical impact is still there.
Arrows, spears, all that, I would imagine.
Those are gone.
Oh.
Those are gone. And as you crest that slight hill, which is actually a little bit more of an incline now, you see a collen fruit bush that overnight, in one of the very rare natural, if you can say such a thing, natural miracles of Terra, has grown where Titus planted the seed.
Beautiful.
It's not in full flower yet. It will get much larger, but it's there and it's already fruiting.
A sign.
You come back. You come and
I'm going to continue moving on towards it.
You're in front of the bush now. You make it there.
Just put my hands against it, feel it, experience it, even if I can't feel anything other than just tactile.
Yep. Looks like a lush, thriving bush.
So this is the place?
And of course the cathedral's just beyond it.
And without the shovel, without anything, Titus would start digging. Show the work.
I'm going to kneel right down next to him. This is just as much my burden as his. So
The emissary and the Bellator Sanctus of the goddess of justice, both get in the dirt and with their armored hands begin to claw out Merrick Touchgem's final resting place.
I'll speak to Wesa quietly. Why are they doing it like that?
In respect to a friend who gave everything for all of us. They want to give in this way to him.
A friend doesn't know if they do it with a shovel or with their hands.
It's a sign of respect. It's symbolic.
Okay.
Wesa is starting to not feel so okay. And she kind of tells everyone that she's going to do some kind of blessing around the space, but she's really just crying.
Nalishli starts to follow you and then doesn't. Instead, she turns and so Marcus, Titus, she comes around and makes the third part of that triangle. As the three three warriors now of the group.
A part of me is actually wondering if the spot that he started digging in was the spot that was in my dream.
It's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close.
This is meant to be.
He's digging too. It almost looks like a bead of sweat, but you can tell it's actually just tears coming out the tip of his nose.
Avad strings his bow and stands vigil, turns outward as you're doing that. Symbolic, but still important. Ajax just drifts near you, but he doesn't interfere. He doesn't put his hands in there either.
I will quietly do whatever appropriate burial ritual that I would want to do.
Okay. You start praying for the spirit of their fallen comrade to be purified before he sits before the throne of the Lord of the Light. And those of you who are paying any kind of attention can hear him, quietly, but actually with a fair bit of skill, reciting them. Like it's a well-practiced ritual. Unfortunately, it's not the first time you've presided over somebody's burial, and it probably won't be the last. And eventually, you dig out enough. Even your chosen hands aching just a bit, and maliciously looks at you and looks at you and looks down.
I will place him.
And he feels so light, so much lighter than what you remember now that the spirit is gone and the old power no longer manifests through that stocky form. You place him down, and I believe your cloak was his shroud.
Mm.
So there's part of Warren, part of House Warren is going to be on this island as well, which seems appropriate given what he gave his life for.
I have some things to say, but would you like to do the honors, Domine? We bring our friends to bury today. His sacrifice meant that we all lived. His spirit up to the Great Mother. But more than it was. This is a union of nature and law and love and fellowship. I couldn't have asked for a better person here, a better friend. I'm so glad he was with us. I'm gonna cast light on the tree.
Should I speak, Marcus? Dreadmother, take him to where he needs to be, as only you can. Thank you. Thank you, Merrick. I'll do better next time. Waisa, you should be here. Come.
She steps forward. She just really doesn't want to be seen crying right now, so she kind of buttons up.
It's hard, but you dig deep into that priestess training in a vicious, highly disciplined civilization, and you manage it. And you're just present for a while. And you see Avad start running toward the doors of the cathedral. You heard some sort of shock and maybe joy in his voice.
And look.
Okay. Coming out, you see a pale, dark-haired, dark-eyed figure staggering out with a hole through his chest. Well, a hole through his leather jerkin where an arrow punched through. Uriah! You're alive! I was not, though. I came. And he looks totally disoriented as he's coming out. And starts kind of stumbling toward the bush. The lit bush right now. And Avad's like patting him down. Touches the two sides of where the arrow went through, like it's a hot griddle. And then guilt washes over him and he shrinks away. So, this man has just enough sense he doesn't walk any closer, and then just kind of sits down on the other side of the bush. Grip, what are you doing while this is going on?
I was just watching at a distance, and I'm just visible shock on my face.
Okay.
Does that guy actually seem alive?
He smells alive.
Do we recognize him from battle?
I'm the one who was about to do that.
You do. He was the one who was summoning some sort of awful energy, and you currently have his grimoire.
Sure do.
Grip currently has his grimoire.
And I have his sword.
Does he seem...
Oh, that's right. You did take that. Because you were going to check. Yep.
Does he seem like any kind of threat at this moment?
He seems profoundly disoriented.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, that's... I agree.
Hey, love you. Good luck on your journey.
Good luck, friend. She puts her hand on the grave.
My hand there too.
I'll follow suit.
I just is gonna look up and be like, then it'll just kind of break down.
I feel like, I don't know, Allie may have to correct me, but I feel like Nalishli would squeeze your hand and kind of put one arm, maybe not a full-on hug, but like put one arm around you, kind of sheltering you against that.
Like he's like trying to speak, but it just keeps getting caught.
Marcus, what do we do?
We collect the bit for Jasmine. We finish our ritual. We find a ship, and we get home to our people.
And we make his dream come true. And then Titus will stand up.
And Nalishli nods, stands up, brushes herself off. I'm going to say you collected the bits already. Yeah.
This is a moment that we have, none of us, I don't think, maybe save you, Dominic, have experienced. I've never experienced death like this before with someone I was so close with. I don't know what to say.
There's nothing to be said.
We loved him, and he loved us. And Wesa she has a little bit of Jason's hair, and she just takes a few strands, and she kind of puts it in the earth next to Merrick. And I don't think she would even say anything out loud, but maybe it's seen by others. But she kind of speaks to Jason, like, don't keep him alone.
Okay. So noted.
All right.
Looking up through the boughs of the trees, do I see any Paija up there?
Make a perception check.
Saw that dream. But not today. Not with these. Well, I don't know. 10?
Your tears blur your vision.
Don't see them. Find those damn Paija.
How's Avad responding right now to his friend?
He looks deeply guilty. So remember, he's the one who shot him dead. And after that initial exultation and shock and surprise, he isn't even looking at him, and he's slunk away, almost like because unfortunately, because of his experiences for the last 60 years, almost like a beaten dog, where he's just kind of, down and hunched and away and expecting something awful to happen.
I would go over to Avad.
Okay. He kind of side-eyes you, even you, who've been kind.
I can understand that this is a challenging moment. But we don't really have all the time. Do you want to engage with him? Do you want him to be with us?
Wesa, I killed him.
And yet he's here.
Even on this island, I do not think that's possible.
If he's here, there's a reason. And whether that means he's going to join us, or if it's just for this moment, there's something here.
I honestly do not know how you are so damn brave.
I have really had no choice.
He cracks his neck and then walks over to his more than friend. Uriah. Huh? What do you remember? A fight and something like, I do not know. We are far from home. And he kind of pushes off, seems to be a little bit more collected now. And then it finally dawns on him as he touches his heart, and there's a hole in the leather jerkin. Eyes widen, and he looks around. What? Me. You were in Barolus's thrall. You were going to strike them down with that grimoire. I couldn't let it happen. It had to end. You understand? It had to end. And Uriah just kind of nods a little bit. Duh. It had to end. I do understand. He bows to you.
Do I know if grimoire is specifically associated to
Oh yeah,
a worker versus a mana bender?
I'm gonna let you ride off of that earlier one, and yeah. You've seen rogues, you've seen all kinds of stuff. You might have even had a rogue try to book passage with you guys to escape, and all of that. I barely remember who I am. Domini, I am a long way from home. I believe I am at your service now, though, at least until I don't know when. Some woman spoke to me and told me to get up, and so I got up. No. She said I had something else yet to do and to get up, and so I did.
How do you feel?
Like I died?
Do you have energy?
Energy, you ask?
Do you need to rest? Or do you feel actually capable of helping us?
In body, yes. In mind, who's to say?
Okay. And I would speak to Avad, maybe a little quieter, but can we trust him?
If he's the man that he was when we came here. Yes. There is nothing that I can say or do that will bring your friend back. Just know that it was not always that hell that you found us in.
I know.
When we came here, there truly were good intentions and hope and aspirations. It's just somewhere along the way he lost himself.
I feel as though he found himself.
If so, Dominique, that is in no small part to your intervention. I barely had enough left of me, that I remembered that I could still feel your act of kindness, Marcus. And that was enough to make me remember. I can't say much more than that.
Please help us help him.
I will. And then, with much less trepidation, Avad goes over to Uriah and just stands next to him in silent solidarity. Ajax says, begging your pardon and all, but if we're done here, then we're going north. We're gonna try to find this kid's crew.
Try and find a way off this island.
The crew will help there. We're gonna need them.
That's funny.
Hmm?
You're laughing.
He wants to see the dragon.
Listen, if we can, we will.
Do any of you know how to build a ship?
I've chosen.
I kind of do.
Oh, well, never mind then.
I've studied them a lot. And we have a lot of spare bones. We have no short of timber. We do have short of manpower.
Before we go, does the Colin fruit bush have any Colin fruit on it?
Yeah.
Please, someone take some.
Yeah, we take some.
Do any of them call out to me specifically? No? Then 3.
Okay.
Just take a bunch. It's important that we eat this, all of us, and then we can go on.
I agree.
Lisley's eyes kind of widen as she realizes the truth of what you're saying. In her own, a little bit of priestess flickering up, from some ancestral memory. She takes one as well. The same one? We should all take a bite of the same one.
Aye, and if you want to take more. But
I'll grab one as well.
Okay. You pass one around, and by the time it gets through the fellowship, it's basically done.
Yeah.
And is there a seed in it?
Yeah.
I'll just place that seed on top of the grave, and we're done.
Okay.
Your name was Uriah?
Nah.
Then your name?
Khalid.
My name is Titus Metellus Gladriel Vaughn. If you betray me, I will end you. Is that understood?
Yes, Dominic.
Swear on your name.
On my name and on my line. Yes.
Swear I will not betray you.
I am not used to this kind of clemency. I appreciate it.
I'm not used to seeing a man come back from the dead.
I suppose I did. Okay, so you head north once more.
I'd be studying Uriah as he walks and trying to understand. Like, obviously he has powers, but I would just be watching him now.
Okay. Okay, you start observing, and you're in for a bit of a walk.
So we're just going to get more manpower? Is that the idea here?
And there may also be material up on that shore.
There's material all around the island.
Well, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Life is more important than just material. At the end of the day, they might need help.
That's
How
true.
about we just go check on them?
Khalid swore for his men.
and maybe Island really isn't that big. I don't know, maybe a torch later. You come, maybe not even that long, but you come and you hear, "To the gods, I had never listened to you. I can't believe that I'm going to die on some fucking island." And you see five men and a lad kind of having some roiling shifting row with each other as accusations and even tearful recriminations are flying over
Greetings,
the
gentlemen.
beach line, and the heads whip around.
Before.
Oh, that's right, because he's with you. Yeah, right. Four and a lad, because you would be the fifth.
Yeah.
So the head whips around, and there is a man who looks full-blooded Urlet.
Ooh.
Who looks over at you, kind of squints.
Do I recognize him?
What's that?
Do I recognize him?
You do not. Okay. No. And he says to you for the first time that you've heard it in a while in Valpyrie, although pretty rough Valpyrie. "Hey, who are you then?"
Who's asking? She responds in Valpyrie.
In High Valpyrie or in
Valpyrie.
Common? Okay. Make an intimidation roll.
And I'm gonna stand behind her.
Okay.
just like hulking up, man.
Okay.
Can I
He
help
looks.
her?
You can. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up at the second that he kind of like second eyes you. You're just gonna see the Hulk of Titus just right behind and just be like,
So
Roll again. Yeah, with advantage.
Well, thanks,
Good call,
Titus.
Downing.
Oh, well, that's a crit. So 20.
dude, 20 straight
Hold
does
the mind
a lot.
so it changes the motion.
No, it does.
Yeah,
It
I
does.
feel the dignitas.
You get so he's drawing in breath. He's drawing in breath for some shit ass remark, and then you have this war weary,
Shadow casts out the sun.
war weary, like completely focused chosen lord come up behind you, and he thinks better of it. So you're one of the cultured then, huh?
And who are you?
Zuma, second mate of the Zephyr. The Zephyr, rather. Second mate of the Zephyr.
They're still speaking about Valpyrie.
Yeah.
And
the captain, well, you have the 25, so go ahead and get that in before the captain.
Well, do I know Zephyr is like a Urlet society in any kind? Or?
It's like the wind, basically.
It's the name of the ship.
Oh. And none of the others are Urlet.
No.
What do you?
No, they're an interesting mix though. Although actually, who's left? Boy, it was not.
Actually, not the pick of the litter.
No, they look mostly old Empire. There's one man who is just like white in the face. His leg looks like he's in the grips of a pretty bad infection.
Oh.
And he's just kind of on the ground moaning. You have, so really it would be between the captain and Zuma would have been the two main that were fighting with each other at that point.
You two chat. I'm gonna go save that guy.
Hi.
Okay, so the captain is like, quit with your Paija gibber, damn it! I want answers. And Zuma turns hotly back to the captain. Well, it seems to me, sirrah, that as soon as the Zephyr went tits up, like all of your stupid ideas, that all of your
Walk right through them.
Yeah.
Right between them.
Okay. The captain looks at you. Excuse you. And he puts a hand out to your chest.
Feel the biggest hand grab his wrist.
I'm just.
Yeah.
He's a fairly burly guy himself, but he doesn't have.
And I'm gonna turn it down and be like, "Did you just refer to my advisor as a harpige? Nonsense."
I said Paija.
That's great. That's good.
He balls up a fist, but he's not willing to punch. He's not willing to try to punch a powerful man in plate mail yet, and articulated plate yet.
Probably feels the.
Make an intimidation check.
Probably feels the dignitas too, at least on some level.
That is going to be a 12.
Okay. Yeah, he's not. He just kind of eyes you and then looks away, but tries to jerk his hand.
Okay, and I'm going to squeeze it just a little bit harder.
Okay.
Mind your tongue.
Make a quick athletics check.
That's going to be 11.
Too much for him still.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, and then I'll throw his hand into his face.
Do you want to live?
Anyway,
I'm kind of fond of it.
Then you should listen.
I'm listening.
Gather your men.
What little there is.
And your friend with the leg, what's his name?
It's just a slave.
And then he's going to feel it.
Okay. He grabs both two hands on your forearm and thinks like he is gonna kick away.
I'm just gonna lift him up.
Okay, make an intimidation check with your strength as your
and I'm gonna be like,
His name.
oh my goodness, I'm rolling like shit. Yeah, it'll be 9.
Okay, he tries to kick you.
Okay.
It gets deflected off of some of the metal. What do you do?
I'm just gonna keep just kind of
Say it.
I would say to Zuma, are you guys going to behave?
I know which side my biscuit's buttered on. I don't know about the former captain here, though.
Well, the more of you, the better chances we have of actually getting off of this island. So, do you have any authority here to make that happen?
Submit! Zuma screams at the captain. And all right, he's just going into a panic. The captain is. Are you gonna damage him?
No, I'll drop him.
Okay.
And be like,
You have one word to say. His name.
Cornelius.
is the name of the slave?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just able to. Okay.
My friend Marcus is going to help your friend Cornelius. There are no slaves and masters.
Cornelius. Let's see what we can do about this.
He's still wearing a slave collar.
So I'm checking over the leg itself. Is there puncture wounds? Like, was it a bite? I have nature medicine, whichever.
Make a medicine check.
Animal handling.
Not animal handling.
Jesus, dude.
It's not an animal.
Medicine is going to be 20, dirty 20.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 19.
19? Mm-hmm. Per Khalid's description, you see puncture wounds of some sort of small animal.
Gotcha. I'm going to put one hand at the thigh, at the upper thigh, and one hand at his ankle. And I'm going to try to force the poison out through the puncture wounds themselves. Like, basically the light meets itself.
Oh, walking them back.
Yeah.
Cool. Using what?
Just cure wounds. Well, before I do that, do I feel like that will actually help him? Because I'm sure he's taken some damage, but this is not just a wound. This is a poison going through him.
Infection.
Right.
Is it infection?
That, you don't think so, no. It'll delay it. Oh, cool, okay. Look at that shortly. We have a winner at the raffle. So,
Cute.
yep, let's do that. Let's do that at the very end. I think we'll try it that way and
Give me
see.
a quick second.
Okay, so yeah,
This is gonna walk over and he's gonna take off Cornelius's collar and he's gonna tie it to the top of his leg as a tourniquet, so it just ceases to spread the infection.
I'm gonna stop you before this. I know what to do.
Okay, when you take the collar off for a second, even though he's kind of delirious, Cornelius feebly claws like he's panicked that you're doing something bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, my master will. Your master's dead, Zuma says, the Urlet. And it doesn't look like we're going to be getting ownership of you anytime soon, so,
It will be no ownership.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of the way we were sliding. Weird people.
I'd speak to him in Valkyrie.
Okay.
What are you doing with these people?
Traveling.
Where do you hail from?
Many places.
Originally.
Many places.
Have you been to Tijuana?
Not in a long time. But yes. I was born south of it. In the swamps.
How old does he look?
Be 20.
Okay.
Khalid's a good deal. Khalid, you're probably like in your early 30s. You and the captain are probably in your early 30s. So around Marcus's age.
Okay.
So, did you have any reaction to me choking your former captain by the way?
I was wondering.
You're like, oh no.
Just wondering.
We're good.
I am just sitting observing and
Taking a lot in.
I am shutting up as ordered.
That's fair.
So, as he's sitting there, he'll start with something, and then he'll just sit back. Oh. And then Dwyer, please allow this poison to be expelled from the body. And I'm going to invoke protection from poison, which cures the wound, the target of poison.
Does it
neutralizes it?
It does cure it. Okay. And then at the end of this, at the end of the invocation, it's still neutralized. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay.
That's so cool.
Now that's actually
You've got a lot of tools in your
really
toolbox.
yeah, you do.
And for the duration, 1 hour, the target has advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. And it's the resistance to poison damage.
Re-poison.
That could be
Who would
important.
poison you?
Things.
Would be the poison.
I'm just making
Marcus, do you mind holding my
Just
nail
making
clipper?
conversation here. It's a what if, and, or.
No, you're right. You're right. You touch a creature, if it's poison, you neutralize the poison. Mm-hmm. If more than one poison affects the target, you neutralize one poison that you know is present, or you neutralize one at random. Okay. All right. No, and it has resistance to poison too. Mm-hmm. So it has advantage on the saving throw and resistance to it. That's awesome. I know because the reason I was checking Randy is that some of the spells have the weird thing where it's like suspended.
Gotcha.
The spell is out, but as soon as the spell ends, then the effect takes place again.
Like gentle repose and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so you direct this light into the body, and there is some nasty green, brackish green that just is coming out of the leg.
Vial. I need a vial.
It smells gross.
I need a vial.
Okay, I probably have one. I'd give it to
I think you still have one or two left from home. Okay.
Do I recognize the god he's evoking here, or
No. This is eye popping.
although whatever else he's doing?
Yeah, no, this is eye popping. So your earlier speculation that he was a Monobender seems not quite accurate. You're not entirely sure what to make of it, but
You did to see a glowing bush too. Quite biblical, some would say.
let's see, Corey, to kind of end out, because I need to see what mental state you're in. So
I needed to understand what I'm saying.
yeah, you do. So make.
I don't even know how long your hair is. So I know you took one.
So your character thinks he's making an Arcana check, but you're actually making a religion check. I'm not going to have you make it a disadvantage though, because you made a series of good deductions earlier.
That will be a 13.
Okay, you're bewildered, but you know there's a lot more to the story, obviously, and at bare minimum, he's some bizarre offshoot of monobending. Although that doesn't feel entirely accurate. And then last one, make an Arcana check, and then we'll move on. But this is important.
That one is going to be 14.
14. He is no variation of monobending that you know.
Ooh.
Okay.
Thank you.
First, I'm going to collect whatever poison seeps out of this wound.
Okay.
I'm going to stopper it up, and I'm going to hand it back off to Wesa.
You feel with that dirty 20, because you got a dirty 20, right, on the medicine?
It was a 19.
Check. Oh, 19, that's right.
Yeah, close, but yeah.
On that 19, you feel like had this sat in his system much longer, like maybe a couple more torches, certainly by the end of the day. You wouldn't be dealing with a poison situation. You'd be dealing with some sort of raging infection situation.
Yeah.
But you caught it just in time, and I assume that you're going to continue to administer him,
Of course.
with herbs, etc.
Yeah, catch moss. I still have some catch moss, so.
Okay, great. Yeah, you get some catch moss. You have some Maiden's Favor, I think. So you get that in there. It's a great cleanser. So you get that in there, and then the catch moss will help draw out the moisture to the Maiden's Favor.
Captain, as this man's master is dead, and I have saved this slave's life, I claim ownership of him and hereby release him.
Well, it looks like you have the only. Because I think I was using a somewhat deeper voice with him, Toby. Well,
I broke his larynx.
He's a burly dude,
Oh, yeah.
and he'd be more than a match of most men in bar brawls. He's just run into a fucking chosen warrior. So, as you have the only thing that actually matters, force of arms, I'd be delighted.
Oh, I'm so glad you see it our way. Thank you.
Now, you got a shipwright amongst you? Because if not, it's a long swim home. Now, you do have navigation. You have never built, and you know theoretically how you might be able to build a ship.
I'm
but you're
trying to lead, and I'm not trying to let you know that I don't know. That's entirely, that's tight.
So he's looking. I just want to make sure you know his player.
Yeah, no, I'm well aware.
Okay. So fine. I was thinking about trying to shut up. He looks at Zuma, negotiate with that thing out there. Yeah, and how well did that turn out the last time? What, that thing? And you little deserter, you little shit.
Oh, is that the first time he's seen me?
Yeah. He was a little busy.
Come again?
You just ran off, didn't you? Huh?
I walk up next to him.
Okay.
I silently behind him.
Okay.
Just not nicely. I don't try to be silent, but just.
This is Khalid? Now you two, I made you first mate. You're joining this little mutineer.
I brought them to you.
And what do you have to say about that, Captain? I'm going to try to put any draconic force or presence I'm going to try to bring to bear in that moment.
Make an intimidation check.
Does he have advantage because of all the shit that's been happening?
I was thinking about that, but no, this is a different relationship.
Yeah.
I need to see where he stands.
Ooh, that's a 22.
The dice are hot.
Okay, he's much like Zuma did just a few flickers ago. He's drawing in breath for some potentially withering retort, and then something primal flashes in your eyes, and he kind of, without even thinking about it, he takes a half step back. I don't know what's gotten into you. I don't know who you people are.
Believe it or not, we're actually trying to come together. And she gives a really weird smile. She can't really smile right now properly.
Holy shit, as he gets an eyeful of Nilishli now. Silver-skinned, 5'11",
quietly
crazy looking fucking Nilishli, who's fingering Winter's Harvest right now with the gleam in her eye.
Oh, man.
With all of us, we have a better chance getting home.
Hey, I'm all about this. That fuckshaft merchant who led us here he's fish food now. And all I want is to get back. That's it. I never should have tried this trip. This was insanity, but here we are. Fine. All right, you led them here. What do you propose then, Khalid?
The Lord here is Domine. Titus Metellus Glabrio Vorn?
Yes.
You're a patrician.
I would
We
address
gave
him
it
as
away.
such.
Where's your sigil?
None of your business. Captain, where's your ship?
He points over, and you see, it's not even distinguishable. It's just numerous. It's not as heavy on the north.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of strewn instances of strewn wreckage around here.
Looks like we need to build you a new one.
Titus, I know how to build a ship.
You do? About 3 of them all at the same time. And that seems like a very good place.
Yeah, dude. Woo!
Because you had kept that little bon mot from them, your entire forced association.
I knew someone did.
No way.
Oh, 100%.
Friends, so
Leave that comment on the YouTube.
producer Justin, who won the raffle?
The voice of Justin.
He is going to tell us. It could be the voice of God, or it could be
Could be a Roush of a moment.
It could be a bird message. Yeah.
yay.
Old roushed about.
All right, looks like our own Melix, our own Mel won the raffle. Congratulations.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
That's a worthy. I was going to say worthy foe. That's in the Curse of Strahd campaign.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, faraway friends, you have enjoyed your time with us and you have enjoyed the hijinks. I know I certainly have been entertained, being a choking captain and whatnot. On a more somber note, Merrick Touchdown was, I think, correctly laid to his final resting place. I can't imagine actually a better, literally a better spot for him. I think Merrick would approve. Because the Colin fruit bush, we don't make a big deal out of it. But it is the symbol of the Kithki people because they grow literally everywhere. Yeah. They can adapt and they slightly different shades and whatnot, but they can survive anywhere.
It's like a clover for Irish people.
So, with that, as you go about your journey out there, stay safe and stay curious. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.